Work full time, still broke. That is the American reality. America loves to brag about being the richest country in the world. But tell me why the richest country in the world can't take care of its own people. Parents working 2, 3 jobs just to keep the damn lights on. Folks getting sick and losing their homes because a hospital bill is treated like a death sentence. And don't even get me started on rent. Half of y'all are paying more for a 1 bedroom than your parents paid for their whole damn house. And the wildest part is, Americans have just accepted it. Y'all act like this shit is normal. And people will tell you that's the cost of freedom. Freedom? Freedom from what? Freedom to be broke? Freedom to live paycheck to paycheck until you die? That's not freedom, y'all. It's a scam. I just want to know, when we stop clapping for this so-called experiment that's called the American dream and start demanding better. Because if your kids are destined to have less than you, then what are you working for? What's the dream then? Do you believe your kids will be better off than you? Or are we just lying to ourselves to try to make it through the week? I want to know.
Breaking news, as of now, 22 states are in an official recession. This means that for a vast portion of Americans, we are facing economic hardship. So don't let economists and Fox News reporters tell you we're fine, we're not in a recession, because we are, and we have the data to prove it. Recession is often characterized by lack of job opportunities as well as persistent economic hardship lasting more than a few months. Current estimates suggest that 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and many people are struggling to put food on the table each day. States currently in or on the brink of recession include Oregon, Georgia, and Illinois, where I currently live. There has been a significant decline in economic activity in these states that has lasted for more than a few months. The craziest thing is that the District of Columbia, or DC, the capital of the country, is one of the territories that's hit the hardest right now. But why? Largely because of Trump's economic plan and the tariffs. So many politicians are lying to us right now by saying that our economy is the greatest in the world, especially those on the right. And I want you to know right now that no, you're not crazy. Yes, the economy is worse. Yes, it is harder to get a job. And yes, it is because of the person who is in office right now, as well as various other factors. Crazy, and we're only 1 year into his presidency.
Hi family, how you all doing? Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Olivia. So family, I know you all know that right now Americans are struggling. The gas, the groceries, rents, everything is going up, and kids, some of them are going hungry. Families are juggling two, sometimes three jobs just to survive, right? And people are skipping meals. Mhm. Delaying bills, even cutting corners on essentials, and is not, some static in a spreadsheet. This is real life, and yet somehow life for some of the richest people keep looking like a vacation brochure, right? People who depends on Snap are just hoping and praying to God because they don't know when this Snap benefit will resume. I think I heard they said the court has, you know, um called that off, but people are yet to receive anything, right? And meanwhile, Trump is busy, building his ballroom as usual, golfing and living life, like none of this whole thing matters to him. Like none of this exists. Okay, this is 2020. This is America 2025, right? And let's not forget, America is the land of opportunities. America is the land where you will say, oh, want to start living American dreams. But people in America are struggling. People in America barely eat 3 square meal. Okay. And then I pity them, or I feel so sad actually when I see people, come to the social media to talk or share how they're struggling right now, especially single moms and moms in general who have to, cater for their kids too. So it's so sad, right? It's very, very sad. And I just pray and wish that these MAGA people will now know what they have done, and they will all follow the right side. I mean, the blue wave, because people need a good government. People need, America in general need a new leader. A new leader that will also have the interests of the people they are leading at heart, and not just their selfish interests. So let's keep watching together, family, and we'll come back after a while. Please stay with me.
So, I don't normally ever come on here and post anything except of my dog because he's absolutely gorgeous. But I am extremely frustrated being a full-time employed person living in Florida and not being able to afford to live. I have spent my whole fucking day off trying to find a, more affordable place to live because I can't afford fucking $1,300 a month in rent and then fucking a $650 car note and then $300 in fucking insurance and then you got utilities and it's either I eat or I pay my bills, and then even then it's like, okay, well, which bill's gonna be fucking late this month? And I'm so fucking sick of it. Like, all these fucking apartment complexes and realtors and even private renters, fuck you. Fuck you so fucking hard. And I mean that with everything in me. Fuck you. I, nor anybody else, should be working 60 plus hours a fucking week and not be able to fucking live. I'm about to crash the fuck out. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me losing my fucking mind. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm about to lose my shit because I just can't take.
Why in the richest country on earth are people still going to bed hungry? America can build billion-dollar facilities, but they can't seem to figure out a way to make sure Americans stay fed. And that's where I draw the line. So I'm putting you guys on notice today about how you can buy food for cheap, okay? So you need to save and share and like this post so that other people can use this information too. So there's an app that you can get in the Google Play Store or in the Apple Store called Too Good To Go. It's an app that lets you grab food from restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores for pennies on the dollar. And the deal is, instead of throwing that stuff in the trash, all the overages stuff, they sell it to you for pennies on the dollar. Wild concept, right? You feed people instead of throwing the food in the trash. So this is how it works. So you're going to download the app, and then you're going to check and see what's available near you. And then you're going to snag a surprise bag. That bag might have sandwiches, baked goods, meals, all kinds of stuff. But you're going to be saving money. You're saving food, and you're saving yourself from going to bed hungry in the land of the plenty. This ain't charity, y'all. This is common sense. Nobody in America should be skipping meals when there's perfectly good food down the street that they're thinking about throwing in the trash that you could buy. So go to your app store right now and download Too Good To Go. And let's eat, baby, because empty stomachs in the richest country on earth, that should be a crime.
Donald Trump is building a ballroom at the White House using billionaire donations and taxpayer dollars, while millions of Americans out there who are on SNAP don't know when their next meal is going to be. He's redoing bathrooms in the White House to have white marble, while millions of Americans out there can't afford health care. He's having these lavish parties at Mar-a-Lago every weekend with his billionaire friends, having these expensive meals and having waiters bring them drinks all night as the government is shut down for the longest time ever and millions of Americans who work for the federal government are not receiving a paycheck. Donald Trump hates you. He hates you. I don't understand how these MAGA fans out there who are not wealthy are sitting there and think, yeah, Donald Trump's fighting for me. He's fighting for my working class interests, while Donald Trump continues to screw everybody over. He hates you. If you do not have a check to give him, he does not care about you. And his actions in the White House, he's golfing with his friends as people are struggling, I think prove that. And anybody that can't see that yet, perhaps they're too far gone. I don't know how anybody looks at this guy and thinks, oh yeah, he's fighting for me.
The Democrats gave the Republicans an offer to open the government today, and it was immediately rejected by the Republicans. Chuck Schumer gave a speech on the House floor stating that the Democrats were willing to open the government as soon as today, as long as they can include a 1-year extension for the Affordable Care Act subsidies that are currently set to expire at the end of the year. Republicans have dangled the idea that, yeah, we'll extend these credits by a year, but we refuse to negotiate on health care while the government is closed. Democrats are like, you made these statements publicly, you keep saying this, but you won't put it in writing. Keep in mind, guys, they are fighting for these subsidies so that healthcare premiums for millions of Americans don't quadruple, sometimes going up by 7 times the price they are now. At the end of the day, this shutdown seems to be on Republicans, and I'm not sure why Republicans would even decline this offer, because all they're showing is that, one, you don't care about federal employees. Two, you don't really care about keeping Americans insured, because there's only 1 month left in the year. And if these subsidies expire during this enrollment period, people's healthcare costs are literally quadrupling. I heard a story about a guy yesterday whose health insurance went from $77,000 for the whole year to now he got quoted at $38,000. And he's thinking about whether to insure himself or run his business. And that's not the way this country should work. Take a listen to Chuck Schumer.
We'd like to offer a simple proposal that would reopen the government and extend the ACA premium tax credits simultaneously, and then have the opportunity to start negotiating longer-term solutions to health care costs. Let's do all three. I've spoken with my caucus, and Democrats are offering a very simple compromise. Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean one-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs. With this approach, we do not negotiate health care in the shutdown, as Leader Thune has maintained he wishes, and the American people get the tax credit extension they want. That is what many of our Republican colleagues have floated over the last 6 weeks as a compromise. All Republicans have to do is say yes.
Do y'all know that the average American doesn't have any money left over, if but maybe $200 or $300 left after they get paid every 2 weeks or every month? Did y'all know that? I'm sorry, but that I literally feel like it drive me to voluntary homelessness. I would volunteer to be homeless. There's no way they'd have me out here working for anybody and I can't live life after I pay bills. Y'all can have these bills back. Take the car, take the crib. You can have it. Listen, I'm going to be homeless on the streets before I dare. Because, see, the way I'm set up, my Father which art in heaven would never have that be my portion. That's not my portion. There's no way that paying bills and not having any money left over to really exist, that's not my portion. That's not my portion. And I feel like if that doesn't motivate you and inspire you to get out here and go make some money, make more money. See, the problem with us nowadays is not that we don't know how to make money. It's just that we need to make more money. Find ways to make more money. Stop making excuses. You need to be trying to be the president of the United States before you stop trying to find a new job. Listen, if you got to switch jobs every single 2 weeks, then that's what you got to do. May the best salary win. Thank you.
This card means food on the table, but right now the system has stopped.
It's like my lifeline, honestly, because I want to make sure that I'm feeding my child the appropriate foods as well as myself.
Mary hasn't received any money on her card since the beginning of this month because of the government shutdown, now the longest in US history. So you have nothing on there?
No. My last purchase was the 31st for $2.26. It's definitely a gut punch when I look and see no prediction on there, no amount on there.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, helps more than 430,000 people in Minnesota. Nationwide, over 41 million Americans depend on it. Without these benefits, more and more families are turning to food banks.
This is a place that has free food. They rely on donations and source from groups like ours at the food group, stock the shelves, and then folks can come and usually come about once a month. SNAP is an entitlement program, and even in past government shutdowns, it usually runs uninterrupted. However, this example of benefits being suspended and now only being partial, it does show that there is a precariousness, right, to the SNAP program that we haven't felt before in the United States.
No one knows how long the shutdown will last. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate are not budging in their disagreement over healthcare spending. But as Americans lose faith in their government, they're learning to rely on one another.
And you know, one other thing, our country has to remain very liquid because problems, catastrophes, wars, could be anything. We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example. When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that were able-bodied, had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the number. And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that. It was meant for people that had real problems, in many cases, people that were down and out, people that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people that could do whatever they want, the people that say, well, I don't think I'll work, I'll just, collect this money.
So I did a TikTok late last night addressing the fact that one federal judge had ruled that the Trump administration had until today, Friday, November 7th, 2025, to pay not partial, not a percentage, but 100% of SNAP benefits to all of the people who has the SNAP benefit coming. And then after I do the TikTok, I turn around and see another article where the Trump administration appealed the federal judge's ruling to pay 100 SNAP benefits to American people today. So here we have it, and we see it with our own eyes. That's 3 federal judges that ruled that he has to pay these SNAP benefits out. And he's appealing it. He's letting people know that he wants to starve them. He don't care. Now, I don't know if people are actually going to get those SNAP benefits today because of that federal judge's ruling. If you remember last week, they ruled last Thursday that he had until that Wednesday to pay those benefits out. And he found a way around it not to do it. So now this judge has ruled yesterday, which was the 6th of November, to pay those benefits by today, which is Friday the 7th. I'm asking you guys, how many of you guys actually received those SNAP benefits? After 12 o'clock midnight, what's the 7th? Those benefits should have went right into the account. So I'm just wondering, you guys check your SNAP card this morning, your ABT card. Are those benefits there? Most likely, they're not there. You know why? Because this man is doing everything he can to make sure he starves your precious little children. He wants to stop your children from eating a meal. He wants to stop your children from having a Thanksgiving. He wants to stop your children from being healthy. He wants to, they would kick you out of school or arrest you for your kids not going to school. But yet it seems like if this man should be arrested, let's just put it that way. He should be arrested, hands down. He should be in jail somewhere. He should not be running office right now. The same people who voted for this idiot is online crying right now because everything that he's doing is affecting them directly. And now we got 3 more years in office with this man. What do you guys gonna think happened over the next 3 years in office? This is bad, man. This is worse than bad. Man, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys get your SNAP? Today is the 7th. Did they hit your card? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Dear Charlotte, prices have skyrocketed here between the tariffs and loss of farm workers and everything else. During a recent trip to the grocery store, I shop about once a month. Items that used to cost me about $100 cost me $175. Not quite double, but close. The Trump regime has ended the low-income home energy assistance program that helped many poor people, disabled people and senior citizens heat their homes in winter. We don't know how we will afford heat this winter. People are discussing how low to turn down the thermostat and how to dress in layers to try to keep warm. People are planning to block off bedrooms with heavy sheets of plastic and just heat living rooms and kitchens to save money. The whole family can sleep on the living room floor. They're sharing tips like take bubble wrap over your windows and make sure you wear a hat indoors, even to bed, because you lose a lot of body heat through your head. A friend of mine who was on the verge of homelessness was evicted from her apartment because she could not pay the rent. She is now living in a tent in the desert in New Mexico. She figures she's going to die there. I feel powerless to help her. I got her an application for an apartment where I live, where rent would be based on her income, and I offered to pay the application fee of $30 for her. But she's hundreds of miles away and I can't give her money for gasoline to drive here, and I'm not sure her car would even make it. I know it feels to her like no one cares, and I know many people care, people around the world care, but that's not going to be enough to save many of us. It's hard not to despair. I try to look at the bigger picture. My friend may not be saved, I may not be saved, but the future may be saved. We may help to save it, even if we ourselves are lost. I'm making chili today and baking bread. The chili has more onions and canned tomatoes and broth and less meat, so it's cheap. Homemade bread is always cheap. It's comfort food, and I am in need of comfort.
Have long struggled with high costs and low prices for their crops. But this year, amid trade wars and tariffs, there is even greater uncertainty in the fields.
I hear it's affecting your health.
Yes. 4 blood pressure pills a day. 3 different medicines. 2 years ago, none.
What do you think about when you go to bed at night?
What's going to be left in a year? Am I the one that broke what started in the late 1800s?
Angry people, sit down, because you're about to get really upset over this one. There is a coffee shop they're calling it Snap Breakfast. I'm going to call it Snap Blessings. What happened was they saw that these benefits were being taken, yada, yada, yada. Snap's getting cut off for a lot of families starting November 1st, right? They had a bright idea. They were like, we're going to offer people to come in and they can have free breakfast for their families. And we are going to cover the cost of that. We're going to let other people donate if they want to. And so they made a post saying, as soon as the SNAP benefits are cut off, we're going to offer what we call Snap Breakfast. You come in, order a Snap Breakfast. We will ring you up like a regular order, but you won't have to pay anything, and we will give you food. They posted this early because they wanted people to know. They wanted the word to get out so that people wouldn't go hungry. A child shows up and asks for a snack breakfast before the November SNAP is getting cut off deadline, and they gave it to him. So they shared the story. They're like, apparently hunger has already been an issue, right? But they just hadn't seen it firsthand, and this SNAP benefits haven't even been cut off yet. So they gave this child a free SNAP breakfast because he saw it online and he was hungry before school. And so they shared this story. They shared what they were planning on doing. They were knowing that there was going to be people in their neighborhood that were going to need it. And they started accepting donations. And they got $80,000 in donations. Okay, it's grown so much. They started offering it early for people who are already in need and who were already struggling before they lost what benefits they had for food. And so it has went from people in South Africa donating, Canada, the United Kingdom, literally all over the globe. The world right now is helping to support American families who are going hungry. Let that sink in. Other countries are supporting Americans, which is considered a first world country, families who are going hungry and who are about to be really going hungry. Since they started with 84,000. That was their big, they're like, oh my gosh, in just a matter of days, 60,000, 84,000. Within 48 hours of this story breaking, they reached $184,000 in donations to help feed people in their community. And this is in Portland. This is in Portland, Oregon. Did I forget to mention that? The place where they're saying this is like a terrible place to be. You have to be careful. Don't go to Portland right now. They're basically like dealing with all of this like mass fighting and like all of these protests. It's very dangerous. These are the people who are feeding the families in need right now.
Who's deliberately making hunger worse for Americans. Today, in the United States of America, 1 in 5 children go to bed hungry every night. No, it's more than boo. It is a disgrace. It's immoral. It's wrong. Simply wrong. He cut assistance to 40 million food assistance to 40 million Americans. The next day, he holds his party for the world to see, make a fool of himself. Not only are kids going hungry, and rural hospitals are closing, the cost of health care is skyrocketing. All because Trump wants to give people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, which I have another way of calling him, a tax cut.
Rescue to see how the federal pause on SNAP benefits has made an impact here in Pittsburgh.
We made these meals at 412 Food Rescue, and we are providing them to the free fridge here in Millvale. Free fridges are great because people can both donate to them and take food from them, especially now with SNAP benefits being on hold or even reduced. We know so many families are stressed and struggling.
Distributing food to free fridges is just one of the many services of 412 Food Rescue that works with housing authorities and other nonprofits across Pittsburgh to give out thousands of meals to people in need. Here at their Good Food Project kitchen in Millvale, volunteers have been kicking into overdrive, prepping meals and bags of food to help fill a void while the fate of SNAP benefits lingers in uncertainty.
Individuals have been calling in of like, I need to get something. It's like, where can I go? And we're trying to increase bags again to try to get more food out to those folks.
Mostly what I'm hearing from volunteers is that even though the shutdown is obviously creating an increase in demand for these supplies, that they're happy to be doing it and that they're happy to be in the position to be able to give back.
This is probably one of the more rewarding ways to feel exhausted by your job and the current state of our nation. And it's a hard time for a lot of people, but everyone's kind of feeling this.
We're reacting in real time here. The team at 412 Food Rescue is just amazing, passionate about the mission, wanting to make sure that our neighbors are not going hungry.
We have some big news right now. The Trump administration is making it harder to file taxes for free. It has gotten rid of a program called the IRS Direct File System. This is an electronic program that essentially ensured that low-income Americans can go on the IRS's website and file their taxes for free without having to go to a place like TurboTax or going to an accountant and paying an ungodly amount of money for a quick tax filing when you just have a W-2, for example. And while that program helped many Americans, especially low-income Americans who can't afford an accountant or can't afford one of these programs, to file their taxes on their own. Because here's the thing, they still have to file their taxes even if they can't afford to get someone to do it for them. And while now the Trump administration is getting rid of that program, even though it didn't really cost the IRS much money, and it actually helped streamline the tax filing process for many people. So next year, it will not be available. Spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, as always, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. Follow along for all the news that you need to know about. More to come soon.
A man passed out and collapsed in the Oval Office today during a press conference, and Donald Trump just couldn't care less. Just watch the video of when this happened.
But today we... Are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press. Press. Try to guys. Cameras. We're done with you. Cameras.
He couldn't care less. He just stood there staring at this man who had just fallen on the floor. He honestly looks angry that his press conference got interrupted by a man having a medical episode. He just couldn't care. Also, during this press conference, he was like slumping in his chair, appearing to fall asleep. It was just very weird. Now look, let me just be clear before MAGA rages in the comments. I know Donald Trump is not a doctor. He can't get down and provide medical aid, but at least show some care. This photo is a perfect representation of Trump and his presidency. America is collapsing, falling down, and he's just standing there, just staring.
That is it for today, family. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course support the channel by subscribing to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And please, family, if you know you have enough thing to give out, you know you have enough foodstuffs to give to people who are hungry, people who are homeless, people who really need help, please make sure to do so, okay? Because don't forget, when you give, God will definitely bless you back, okay? And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, and please take care of yourself and stay safe.